Maharaj. And thank you everybody for joining.
Yeah, sorry. Am I audible and you are able to see me?
Yes, and we can see you also. Yes.
Fully audible.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Jananim Sharadam Devi Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Revered Swami Shantivratanandaji Maharaj, my reverential pranams to you and many thanks for giving this opportunity to address the devotees. And also my love and best wishes to all the devotees and also for the patient hearing. So this is a wonderful topic, which is divine love versus human love. The love itself, the word love itself is a wonderful word. Because the word, the love itself, when we hear, whether it is a human or divine, it gives a lot of solace for the people. And though Aristotle has said human being is a rational animal, but still, according to me, we are all emotionally charged. Our emotions and our emotional drive is much more strong and important in most of our cases. Maybe in some saints or scientists, the spiritual drive and the intellectual drive will be more, but in most of us, these emotions are very, very important. And at the same time, even the relationships, either in the domestic, that is in the house, or in the profession, everything is very, very important. It takes of our time and energy, life, etc., etc. And also this love, it joins the minds of the people. It joins the people across the world, across the religion, across the countries, our societies, our race. And also it binds us in a positive way, no doubt. But if this love is not properly handled, if there is a problem when loving someone or when loved someone, then there can be a lot of problems, lot of issues, lot of mental agony. So that is the nature of generally ordinary love. Why? Because we have got a lot of expectations when we love people. Of course, when we love things, we love people, relatives, friends, or whatnot. When we are doing that, what happens? We have got a lot of expectations. I love him or her because I want this or that or something. And similarly, the other person who is loving me or who is getting loved, he or she is also expecting something from us. So if not all the cases, most of our cases, in many of the cases, there is always a hidden or open calculation and also expectation. Now, I'm not giving any value judgment to this. So whether it is right or wrong, but only I'm probably stating the fact. And also this worldly love or the love, this is very important point for us. Because it is rooted in selfishness, that's why the expectation comes. That's why the calculation comes. And also, still precisely, as Bhagavad Gita said, the tinge of I-ness and minus, I and mine, ahankara and mamakara, as Bhagavad Gita said. These are the two things which are the base for the worldly love. That's why there are a lot of plus and minus points and positive and negative sides for the worldly love. But there are people or the philosophers who have said that it is a shadow or the image of the divine love. The nature of the worldly love is nothing but a shadow or an image of the divine love. So if you want to love, we should love the God because it is complete in that. But when we are loving people, though we all want that, without that we cannot stay, no doubt, most of us. So it is an image or it is a shadow of the divine love. Now, and probably, and more than this, I think we all know that. So I will be switching over to more of divine love. What is the nature of divine love, and why do we need divine love, and what is the efficacy of divine love based on Naradiya's definitions of divine love? Because as we all know that Sri Ramakrishna said that in this Kali Yuga, the Naradiya Bhakti, the divine love as expressed by Narada, which is more suitable in this present world. Holy Mother says a beautiful statement, or she has given a beautiful teaching, the teaching that, see, if you have done 99 good things for a person, for your beloved, or for your friend, or for your loved ones, and you do one bad thing, you do 99 good things, and you do one bad thing, most of the cases, people remember this one bad thing, and they try to forget, or they forget the 99 good things. But whereas, in the case of the God, in the case of the divine, you have done one good thing, and you have done 99 bad things. You have committed 99 evil actions, and you have performed one good action, virtuous action. Then the God remembers, God recognizes that one good act, one good action, and he tries to forget, and he forgets the 99 evil actions, or whatever. So this is what the difference between the worldly love and the divine love. So we have done so many good things, and we have helped so much. We have gone beyond our reach while helping someone. But because some difference of opinion was there, some disturbance was there, some miscalculation happened, or because of misunderstanding, or maybe because of pride and prejudice or whatnot, or deficiency of personalities either in me or the other ones, loved ones, then all things goes in vain. I may have spent a lot of time, energy, money, emotions, whatnot, but think everything goes in love, vain. But whereas when it goes to the divine, when it is being turned towards divine, nothing goes in vain. And the greatest assurance as given by the Lord Sri Krishna in his Bhagavad Gita, immortal song, what is that? Name bhakta pranashyati, which is very, very important for all of us. We are all spiritual aspirants, we are all devotees, we are trying to pursue our spiritual path. Many times we feel that we are facing a lot of tribulations, difficulties, and I'm believing in God, or I'm believing in Supreme Spirit, Supreme Self. What will happen to me? What will be my fate? What will happen to me? This question will definitely haunt us at some point of time. So for this, Lord himself is beautifully explaining, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. My devotee will never perish. This is the greatness of the divine love. When we love God, it is not that God wants our love, but when we love God, what happens? Then God takes care of us. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, in the 12th chapter, Sri Krishna tells, O Arjuna, if you want Gnana, Atma Gnana, that is the knowledge of the self, I am ready to give. But if you want Bhakti, I am not ready to give so easily. Why? Because you want Atma Gnana, the self-knowledge, I will give, and you will be realized person, and you will be free person. No problem for me. But if I give devotion, if I give bhakti, divine love towards you, to you, or a person, then what happens? Then it is my responsibility to take care of him. Have to take, because Yogakshemam Vahamyam, he himself has promised, whoever surrenders, whoever dedicates himself completely to me, I will take care of himself. I will take care of his and his family and all. So if I grant devotion for anyone, then I have to be a slave sometimes. And we have seen so many in the science life where God himself comes in a form of servant, comes in a form of disguised form, and he takes care the devotee. So much so that he may give bath, he may clean his excreta, or he may has to work for him and whatnot. So when we hear such statements by Bhagavan himself, that is Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, we can understand the efficacy of, the greatness of, the importance of the divine love. And what is this divine love? If you ask, Narada tells beautifully, it is Parama Prema Swarupa. It is the nature of supreme love. So this one word supreme is a very important. Why? So this word supreme has used an adjective with the love that itself differentiates between the worldly love and the spiritual love or the divine love. So what is bhakti? So according to Narada, it is nothing but parama prema swarupa. It is of the nature of supreme love. So when we love God, that is what bhakti. So bhakti is nothing but love, but that love is in supreme in its nature. And he gives in his third sutra beautifully, Narada, that, and also it is of the nature of immortality. It is of the nature of immortality. Now, why should I love the Lord? Why should I love the Lord? The question may come for all of us. Why should I love the Supreme Self? Because by loving the Supreme Self or the Lord or the God or our chosen deity, what do you get? Because you get immortality. The nature of divine love is immortality. So one is Parama Prema Swarupa, it is supreme love. The other is immortality. So this is what the effect, this is what the result you are going to get. Now in the worldly love, you become mortal, and by the divine love, you become immortal. So I want good physique, I love it, and I want wealth, and I want money, and I want property. All these things, yes, we have the basic necessities of the life. We should acquire for it, no doubt. But by loving unnecessarily, what happens? It brings misery. It brings unhappiness. It brings problem of insecurity. We build a house to get rid of the security problem, but you build a big house and with all the whatever the property, that can also bring insecurity problem many times for us. Whereas by supreme love, what this problem of insecurity goes away, or it is dissolved, it is removed. And that's why the nature of the worldly love is what? Mortal, and the nature of the divine love is what? Immortal. How to understand this immortality? So by loving God, by dedicating oneself to the God, what happens? I become immortal. We can see in the life of Prahalada, though he was a son of demon, but he became such a great person, such a immortal. He attained immortality by by worshipping the Lord. Same thing we can see in the life of Dhruva, as we all know that Dhruva's father had two wives. So Dhruva's father had always a liking towards one wife, so that he used to cajole her and her son. And the elder wife and wife's son, that is what Dhruva, they were not cared by the king because of his own calculations. It's so much so that when Dhruva, a small boy of 5 or 7 years, he wanted to sit on the lap of his own father, being a king, he didn't allow. Why? Because Dhruva's auntie, she said, you are not worthy to sit on the lap of your father and the king. Only my son is only worthy. Imagine what a rude shock would have been happened in Dhruva's life or in Dhruva's mind. Bitterly crying, Dhruva went to her mother. And he explained everything, whatever happened to his mother. And Dhruva's mother said, sorry to hear this. That's fine. You try to remember God. You try to pray to God. He will give you the highest position. So this was in a simple way to console him, Dhruva's mother told. But Dhruva took it very seriously. And he said that, okay, mother, then to get his love, I will go to the forest and I will worship him and I will get his grace. Then Dhruva's mother took aback and she said, no, my dear, you are a small boy, age of 5 or 7 years, you can't go to the forest, which is dangerous. But he persuaded and he left to the forest. And we all know that he did a lot of penance and he got the divine grace. And today we remember a particular star in the name of Dhruva because he got the highest place, one of the highest place called Dhruva Nakshatra. So immortality. You can get anything and everything by divine love, by loving God, by worshipping God. By worshipping the world and the people, or by loving the people, we do get a lot of things, prosperity and so many things, accomplishments, but it is limited in nature. So I don't say that we should not love people and etc. No, definitely we can, but we should be knowing the limitations. So by worshipping the Lord, by loving the Lord, we get the immortality and the limitless. Why? Because he himself is unlimited. And also, the Narada beautifully explains the uniqueness and the beauty of the devotion. Further, he says that Yel Labdva Puman Siddho Bhavati. By this supreme love, what he attains? He attains perfection. Siddha. Siddha means here perfection. What perfection? Perfection can be, as we all know, that how can manifestation of perfection, Swamiji says that. What is that manifestation of perfection? That is knowing oneself or experiencing oneself or experiencing the God. Then Amruto Bhavati, he becomes immortal. Already we have seen that. And Trupto Bhavati, he becomes ever satisfied. When we get money, so for an example, when we are studying, we say that we get a good job and probably we get a 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers and one house to stay. That is enough, we think. And once we get, we aspire for something else. Once we get, we aspire for something else. Again, I'm not saying that it is right or wrong, good or bad, but what is the fact or what is the general phenomena, only I'm explaining. So we are not satisfied. I want this, I want that, I want this or that. We are gone asking. But when you get a devotion, when you start loving God really, you will get satisfied. That is seen very clearly, for an example, in Chandramani Devi's life. We all know that Mother Chandramani Devi is the mother of Sri Ramakrishna. Why Sri Ramakrishna took birth in her womb only? Because of her divine nature or because of her divine qualities, because of her pious nature. As we all know that Mathurnath Vishwas, who was the temple owner of the Dakshineshwar, once he approaches Chandramani Devi, with all due respect, Mathurnath Vishwas asks, my dear mother, you gave a birth to such a great son, that is Sri Ramakrishna. So I would like to serve you. Please tell me, what do you want? You want Banaras silk saree? You want land? You want money? You want whatever you want to ask me, I'm ready to give. Whatever is possible for me, I can give. Now imagine Chandramani Devi, from his young age, she never enjoyed the worldly pleasures or materialistic pleasures. Because in no time, because of telling the truth, Kshudiram lost their property. Chandramani Devi, along with Kshudiram, they had to come from Dere Gram village to the Kshudiram, Kamarpukur, we all know that. In a simple hut they were living. So they never had any comfortable life. They never had any materialistic pleasures. A square meal was probably a challenge for all of them. So whole of the life, Chandramani Devi had led her life in that way, in a poor condition. But now she's getting a jackpot. She's getting a good offer from a richest person. What do you want, you tell? So probably any ordinary mortal or any ordinary being would have said, okay, I want you 2-3 silk sarees, or I want probably few acres of land, or I want probably 10,000-20,000 or 1 lakh rupees. Those days, that itself is a huge amount. So he or she would have asked amount, huge amount or whatnot. But Chandramani Devi, without thinking much, she said, my dear, already you have provided enough. I have got everything. I don't think I need anything. Then Mathurnath Vishwas pleaded her, mother, please think. You might require something. You might be required something. Please think. Then she thought for 5 minutes probably. And she said, now I remember I want something. At least, so Mathurnath Vishwas was so happy. At least now she's going to ask something. Then she remembered, now I have got a habit of eating pan after food, So tobacco powder is over, which I will add little tobacco powder with my betel nut and betel leaf. So one tobacco powder is over. Kindly get 1 paisa or 1 rupee tobacco powder. That is enough. Then tears were rolling down in Mathurnath Vishwas' eyes, and they said, that's why Sri Ramakrishna has taken birth in your womb. You are not the ordinary mother. See, Trupto Bhavati, a devotee, when even she got all the things, whatever you want, I'm ready to give, but she only asked for 1 rupee tobacco powder or 1 paisa tobacco powder. So this is what the greatness of the devotion. Once we get that supreme bhakti, parama prema parama bhakti, or Parama Prema Swarupa, we get ever satisfied. So no name and fame, no power and position, no worldly riches can satisfy eternally us. Temporarily we get satisfied. All of them give a temporary satisfaction. But if you want the complete satisfaction, if you want eternal satisfaction, if you want to be ever satisfied, then that is only possible through divine love. That is the greatness of the love. Probably one more, story, probably which is looks like funny, and we all know that, I think. Kokamara story, I remember. Kokamara is Swami Subodhanandaji, who is one of the apostles of Sri Ramakrishna, monastic disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. Once, Swami Vivekananda, while staying in the Belur Math, in midnight he got up and he wanted some help. Swami Subodhanandaji, immediately he got up and he helped him whatever he wanted. Whatever the preparations Swamiji desired, everything he made. So basically, Swami Subodhanandaji served Swamiji in a beautiful way, in a very nice way. Swami Vivekananda, see, all these great peoples, Mahatmas, when what they will say, how they will feel, we don't understand. It is beyond our imagination and calculations. Swami Vivekananda somehow he was very happy. He was very pleased by Swami Subodhanandaji's service. Though it may be simple, but he was pleased. Then Swami Vivekananda said, the Shiva himself is saying to Swami Subodhanandaji that, my dear Koka, I am really pleased by your service. You ask whatever you want, I would like to give. Then again Subodhanandaji scratching his head, what to ask? He's not able to remember what does he want. Raja Maharaj, that is Swami Brahmanji, is next to him. He's telling that, see, Shiva himself is telling, Shiva himself is asking, Swami Vivekananda himself is asking, what do you want? So please don't let go away this situation. Please ask something. Please ask something. Then he scratched his head for 5 minutes probably. Then Kokamara asked, okay, I like tea. I love tea and I like tea. Every day morning, as soon as I get up, wherever I am there, please let me have a cup of tea. Swami Vivekananda said, all right, your prayer or wishes are fulfilled. And afterwards, many of the young monks who joined later, they inquired Koka Maharaj, that is Swami Subodhanandaji. Swami Maharaj, what happened that we hear that you have been blessed by Swamiji, that you will have a cup of tea all the time. What is your experience? Then Koka Maharaj said, yes, even I have been in Himalayas or in the interior forest and all, even so, but early morning, somehow I used to get a cup of tea without asking. So there was no issue. So this is what I'm saying. We get ever satisfied. We get completely satisfied. The cravingness, the craving for this and that, etc., etc., all the things will go away. That's why it is called Trupto Bhavati. And probably if you know the Amrito Bhavati, how one becomes immortal, when I was thinking about this word, a great word, I remember the story of the Rasika. It was one of the great, it was basically a sweeper by his profession. He used to sweep the Dakshineshwar temple complex regularly, daily. And he was illiterate. He was born in a, in the olden days, in the Shudra family. Though we should not do any discrimination. He was born in that caste. So that's as a result, he was not allowed to enter everyone's house, and he was illiterate, and he comes from a poor background. But he was given the job of cleaning the temple complex of Dakshineshwar, and he used to sweep regularly. And he used to observe many people like who are good solicitors, or the judges, the lawyer, engineers, and doctors, basically reputed people of the society, many of them. Oh, of course, even common people, also middle class people, everyone, and mostly reputed people also used to come to Sri Ramakrishna to listen his talk. They used to sit at his feet and they used to listen. Like Keshav Chandra Sen, we all know that. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, we know that, and so many other people. So he used to feel he's such a great man. That's why slowly, somehow Rasika started getting attracted towards Sri Ramakrishna. And slowly, somehow, his heart is saying that he's a great person. He's a saint. He's not an ordinary mortal. He's not ordinary being like us. It's something great. And he also feels sometimes, he used to feel that he had a desire that I should also go. I should also enter Sri Ramakrishna's room and sit among the devotees and listen his immortal words. But he had his own wrong idea, prejudice. He thought that probably he's not allowed to go inside. Though Sri Ramakrishna never made any distinction, but unfortunately, he had that notion, and he never made an attempt to go inside, or he never enquired anyone that can I come inside. Anyway, it went on, it went on. Many times Rasika used to feel that whether can I go, can I listen to the words of Sri Ramakrishna, can I get blessed? But he himself said that no, you are not fit enough, you are not what you say, eligible or blessed enough to listen his words, so you are not supposed to go. So like this 2 or 3 years it went on. Every time he's getting attracted more and more. His love, his attraction towards Sri Ramakrishna is getting increased, but he doesn't have enough strength to enter Sri Ramakrishna's room. Slowly, slowly, unknowingly, he started thinking more about Sri Ramakrishna. And he used to love so much so Sri Ramakrishna, he used to feel that Sri Ramakrishna, we all know that Sri Ramakrishna had a Bhagavati Tanushari. Means his body was so soft, even a thread could have cut probably the skin of the Sri Ramakrishna. Such soft it had become because of his sadhana. So Rasika used to see that wherever Sri Ramakrishna used to walk on the pathway, maybe from his room to Mother Temple, from his room to Panchavati and all. So that pathways used to take extra care, and there should be not even a leaf or a twig or even a small pebble, so that which may hurt Sri Ramakrishna. The whole temple complex is to clean so nicely, no doubt. And but the particular pathway where Sri Ramakrishna used to use often to go from one place to another, used to take extra care so that no leaf or twig should be there, and it may hurt Sri Ramakrishna's body or whatever. Means knowingly or unknowingly, he started thinking about Sri Ramakrishna and he started serving Sri Ramakrishna. It continued. Maybe 2-3 years might have over, and one fine day, Rasika was sweeping near Sri Ramakrishna's room. Sri Ramakrishna came out and he started moving towards Panchavati for probably answering a nature call. But that day, unknowingly, Rasika was unable to bear himself. Simply, unconsciously, he went and he held on the Sri Ramakrishna's feet and profusely started crying. He cried so much so that with his tears, he washed the feet of Sri Ramakrishna. Because from 2-3 years, so much that feelings and emotions and devotion was there. That day, everything opened up. So unconsciously, he washed the feet of Sri Ramakrishna by his tears, with his tears. And Sri Ramakrishna asked, Rasik, ki holo? Rasik, what happened? And Rasika is asking, Rasik said to Thakur, Thakur, amake ki hobe? And he's telling Thakur, what will happen to me? And Sri Ramakrishna Thakur is saying, Keno, ki hoiche tumake? Why? What happened to you? Na, apni bolte hobe, amake ki hobe? No, you should tell me that what will happen to me. See, these are like very esoteric words. What will happen to me and what happened to you? What happened to me, what will happen to me and what happened to you? So it is like a formula or like a sutra, it is happening. Then after 2-3 type conversations, then Sri Ramakrishna said, then I think Rasika prayed that apni aste hobe, amake rakka kotte hobe. He should come and he should protect me. Then Sri Ramakrishna said, Theek ache hoi jabe. Sri Ramakrishna said, okay, it will be done. All like these are formulas, like we don't understand actually. If you know whole complete situation and incident, then only we'll understand. Then Rasika got up and Sri Ramakrishna continued. He walked to Panchavati, everything done. After some years, Sri Ramakrishna left his mortal coil. By this time, Rasika already was also old. And when he heard that Sri Ramakrishna passed away, then Rasika felt, then what is the use of my staying? Because so much love is to love Sri Ramakrishna, and now he started feeling that there is no point in my staying. My energy has gone, and by the time he already old, so he gave his job to his daughter, and he retired. And he used to spend his time in his own way in the house. One fine day, he called all his family people and said, "Today, don't call me till, don't come near me till I call. And morning itself, you finish your lunch. You have your early lunch." People didn't understand why he's saying, but still, because out of respect towards him as a senior member of the family, they had probably earlier lunch around 10-11 a.m. Then after some time, Rasik started calling everyone, hey, come, Thakur has come, Thakur has come, Thakur has come. Everyone knows that Thakur has left his mortal coil. He cannot come. But still, because he was calling, the family members came inside that small room where Rasik was lying on the bed, and he said, look, Thakur has come. So please spread a mat, let him sit. but people are not able to see anyone, and they are feeling that probably because of his old age, he has got some dementia or whatever. So he's feeling that. And he's saying that, see, Thakur has come and he has kept his words and he has come to take me. Thakur esten amake nite. Je bolechilen o korchen. So whatever he had promised me, he is doing it. And he's telling Thakur, chalo amake niya jaben. Yeah, please, you take me. And are you able to see Thakur? And any one of you want to come along with me? No one is able to see Thakur, and I think no one is ready to die. Who is ready to die? So saying that, and Jai Shri Ramakrishna or Jai Thakur, uttering these words, Rasika left his mortal coil. So you can say Trupto Bhavati and you can say Amruto Bhavati. And he became immortal. He attained, Sanidhya of the Lord. At his deathbed, he was again from lower lower caste, and he is illiterate from a poor background. He never studied scriptures. He never attended satsangs like this and all. But still, because of his sincere, pure love towards God, towards Lord, towards the divine, supreme self, he got Amruto Bhavati. He became immortal. He became a free person. Probably he will not have any more birth and death. This is the greatness of the divine love. So why should we love the Lord? Why should we love the God? If you ask, this is what the question is. And probably if you remember even Girish Chandra Ghosh, what a life he led, but afterwards, because of the Sri Ramakrishna's divine grace and infinite grace, he changed his life. And also, if you know, I don't know how many of you know this story or fact, even Master Mahashay was about to end his life. He was thinking to suicide. At that juncture, he wanted to, one fine day, he wanted to leave because he had got some family troubles. He wanted to go and suicide. Then one fine day, late night or late evening, he wanted to go out from the house. But the wife, because the wives will be definitely, they're sharp enough and they'll be knowing the people mind and husband's mind. And Master Mahashay's wife, she asked, where are you going? He only said, oh, I'm going somewhere, just I'll go and come. And she said, she asked time and again, twice, thrice, 4 times, and he gave excuses only. And she said, okay, I will also come. But somehow he avoided, but still he couldn't. Then both of them, along with the children or child, both of them, they left. And now Master Masha had never had any other go. Then they took a tanga and they started moving someplace. And in between, they had a problem with the tanga and they had to get down from the horse carriage. And afterwards, some walk and some took the one more horse carriage. And finally, Master Masha went to his sister's house in Varahanagar. We all know that. So on the late night, when these two people came, they all were astonished. They opened, they asked about food and they fed and they slept. On the next day morning, Master Mahashaya's sister asked her sister-in-law that, is everything okay? Why did you come at late night? Master Mahashaya's wife started explaining, my dear lady, I'm feeling some change in your brother's behavior. Somehow I fear that there can be some problem and bad things can happen. That's why he wanted to leave the house at late evening. I didn't allow and I accompanied him. Finally, we landed here. And she understood there's some problem or whatever. Then Mahendranath's sister told to his husband, please take Master Mahendranath's somewhere outside and have a talk and have a probably discussion and what are the problems, try to understand. Then both of them, knowingly or unknowingly, they came to Dakshineshwar and they met Sri Ramakrishna. Once they met Sri Ramakrishna, and Master Mahasaya was attracted towards Sri Ramakrishna's divine personality, and he started coming in no time. Second time, third time he came. 2 or 3 visits with Sri Ramakrishna. The idea of suicide, the idea of ending the life because of the problems, because of the family problems or the worldly problems, ended. Instead of ending his life, he became a Brahmagnani. So instead of getting a suicide, instead of ending his life, he became a Brahmagnani. He became the knower of the Brahman. Not only that, till the ages, at least few centuries, his name will be remembered by the hundreds of people because of his great work, that is giving the immortal gospel, immortal words of Sri Ramakrishna. Even such person was about to die, but he became the knower of Brahman. He became the immortal person. Why? Because of the divine love or because of the divine grace. And also, Narada continues, Yat prapya na kinchid vanchati. When you get this divine love, you don't feel like you want something. In all great people, that's why probably in case of Sudama, we all know that. Sudama had problem, he had utter poverty, we all know that. But still, he didn't want to ask anything. Sudama's wife pleaded, oh, you have got a great friend, you say that Krishna, who himself is emperor or king, why don't you go and ask? But Sudama said, no, no, no. But finally, once she pleaded, because of her pleading, he had to go. And he went, of course, he didn't ask anything. Just he spent time with the Krishna for 3 days and he came back. But when he came back, for his astonishment, every one of us, we know that how Krishna had given all the materialistic pleasures or the materialistic comforts. Because he was one of the true devotee. So because he wanted that love of divine love, or he wanted that divine grace, he didn't ask anything. So he was ever satisfied. Probably we can also remember here Gopalirma. She was a widow in a childhood days itself. Because of child marriage, she became very in a young age, early age itself, she became a widow, and she had a very austere life she had to lead, and lot of lack of money, and in a poverty she had to lead the life. But at the same time, she never complained about it, and she was always happy. Why? Because of her spiritual practices, intense spiritual practices, either in the present life and the previous life. As we all know that she had the grace of her chosen deity, that is Krishna or Balakrishna. Every day, Krishna used to appear in the form of a child. She used to take care, giving a bath. She used to dress him. She used to feed him, and he used to play with her with all the child pranks, and he used to sleep with her. All these things we have heard and we have seen. We have know who have studied the Gopalarima. And in her life also we can see that na kinchid vanchati. She also never wanted anything. She was ever satisfied lady. And nashochati nadveshti na ramante. And she never loved anyone. She never hated anyone. And she never rejoiced in anything. So it is not the state of blankness. It is not the state of insensitivity. Rather, it is a state of completeness. Say, for an example, a vessel can fill 10 liters of water. Then when 10 liters of water is given, then afterwards you cannot add any more water. Why? Because that vessel is complete. It has, it has reached its full brim. So similarly, when we get this divine love, you get complete. You get ever satisfied. So you don't like, or you don't crave, or you don't expect, or you don't wish anything else. So again, it is not the state of blankness. It is not the state of inertness. It is not the state of insensitivity. Rather, it is the state of full of positivity. It is the state of completeness. That's why we can remember Holy Mother says. We all know that Holy Mother stayed in the Nahabad. The room size is 10 by 6. When we see, definitely most of us stairs roll down when the first time when we see Nahabad. In such a small room, Holy Mother, Universal Mother had to stay. All these things. But she says that when I was living with Sri Ramakrishna, I used to feel that there was an Amrita Kalasha was residing in my heart. With so much happiness, such an unalloyed bliss, Holy Mother used to enjoy, Holy Mother used to experience while staying with Sri Ramakrishna. When we hear all these things, we understand the difference between pleasure, happiness, and bliss. Whatever we get sense gratification, through sense gratification, whatever we get, that momentary happiness, so-called momentary happiness, that is what called pleasure. And the happiness which we get and which stays for a long time, maybe for a few hours, few minutes, and few days, that is what can be happiness. Through some achievements, we get it. And the bliss, the unalloyed bliss, that is what Ananda, which we speak, that is the form of the divine, the form of the self, the nature of the self and the nature of the God itself, that we attain, that Ananda and the unalloyed bliss we attain, we achieve when we love the God, when we depend on God, when we like God, and when we fill our mind with the love of God or with the thoughts of God. So that joy is definitely, it doesn't have any boundary, and it is not any bondage, and it is immortal in thing, and it is with full of positivity, it is with full of creativity, and it is with full of constructivity also. And also, any type of problems may come and many type of problems may go, but all these things will be removed, or nothing will taint us when we love God or when we love the divine. This is what very important thing. And probably one more thing is clear is that you will become the limitless. Our real nature is what? Limitless. And that real nature of that limitless is attained by having this divine love. So why should we, seek the divine love? Why should we seek God? Why should we seek Supreme Self? Because it is very promising. It is with full of completeness. And also, the Narada tells very beautifully, Yat labdva atmaramo bhavati. If I have got a money, I am happy. If not, then I'm not happy. Or if I have got my dear ones with me, I'm happy. If I lose someone, then I'm unhappy. So my happiness or unhappiness depends on people, depends on some objects always. If that or if he or she is there, I'm happy. In the absence of that or in the absence of he or she, I am unhappy. So my happiness and unhappiness is depending externally on something. This is what the nature of the worldly love. But when it comes to divine love, I don't depend on any external things. I depend on the greatest support, greatest sthai. That is what the God, that is what the supreme love or divine love or supreme self. And he's complete. He doesn't have any deficiency. He doesn't have any weakness. And he doesn't crave anything. That's the reason when we love him, we don't get the side effects of it. When we love people, because of their deficiencies, because of their weakness, or because of their own calculations or whatever, there will be side effects. But when we love God, there will be no side effects and will be complete in ourselves. We don't depend on the world or on its objects or on the people for the happiness. That is what the beauty of this, the divinity. And also, probably if you see Buddha's life, if you see Swami Vivekananda's life, we can understand very clearly. Swami Vivekananda, after his passing away, father's passing away, until his leaving the mortal coil, hardly he had any comfortable life. So much struggle, so much adverse circumstances, either in India during his Parivrajaka days. Afterwards, he came to Chicago and he stayed for 5 years. How much he had to suffer and struggle. After coming back, he had to travel all over the India, and he started Ramakrishna mission. Then again, because of his health, he has to come second time again to see voyage. And he came back, and in no time, he left his mortal coil. And we all know that. So if you see, he hardly enjoyed his life in that way, in the materialistic pursuit. But he was always blissful and he never had any complaints. Why? Because Atmaramo Bhavati. He had the divine love. That's why he was happy with himself. And we all know that when he went to ask Mother Kali for his parents, for his mother's sake, and for his, family people's sake, he couldn't ask. He only asked Gnan, Bhakti, Vivek, Vairagya Deen. So please give me the supreme knowledge, please give me the divine love, and please give me the renunciation. Why? He is complete in himself. Atmanamo Bhavati. So these are all the different natures of the divine love. And one who is a great devotee, real devotee, all these natures are implemented in their life, and this can be seen very clearly in their lives. So may Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, Swami Vivekananda, all the prophets and incarnations and saints bless all of us, so that let us have this divine love and let us live the life of blessedness. And again, I thank the Swamiji for giving this wonderful opportunity to share my few views on this divine love and worldly love. Priyatam Pundarikakshaha Sarvayagneshwaro Harihi Tasmin Tushte Jagat Tushtam Prinite Prinitam Jagate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tatsat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you very much, Maharaji, for your profound and very insightful discourse. Everybody has enjoyed it very much and will learn good lessons. And now I would request Dr. Ranjana Bhattacharya from New Delhi to present a devotional song. Dr. Ranjana Bhattacharya.
Pranam Shantivratanandaji Maharaj, Pranam Baneshanandaji Maharaj, Udaranandaji Maharaj, Nirmal Babu, and all the devotees assembled today. The love for divinity comes to us in many ways. Sometimes we pray to God as a cowherd or Gopala, as a boatman, or as a Vanamali, or the gardener. But here I will be singing a song as Lord, as is my shepherd. So many of you may be familiar with the song. I will start now. 1, 2, 3. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Fresh and green are the pastures, where He gives me repose. Near restful waters He leads me, to revive my drooping spirit. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Yes, the Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. He guides me along what He knows to be right. If I walk in the darkness, no evil would I fear. I know that He will be there with His crook and His staff. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Yes, the Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. The Lord has prepared such a banquet for me. Surely goodness and kindness shall follow after me. In the Lord's own house shall I dwell all the days of my life. The Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want. Yes, the Lord is my shepherd, there is nothing I shall want.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bhattacharya, for the beautiful devotional song. Now, since we are left with about 5 minutes, maybe we have time for one question. If you have got one question or observation from the audience, you are most welcome. Maharajji will try to give his explanation. So I would request, if any of you have any question or observation, to please use these 4 or 5 minutes. Stephen, do you have anything to say or anything to observe? Okay, we can use this time for 3-4 minutes for saying Pranam to Maharajji. So one by one, you can introduce yourself and say Pranam to Maharajji.
Pranam Maharajji. I am Ranjana Bhattacharya from New Delhi. I teach history in Maitrey College over here. And Nirmal Babu has been very kind to let me sing devotional songs over here. I offer my pranams to you and seek your blessings, Maharaj.
Unmute yourself. Maharaji, unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mother. May Holy Mother bless you and guide you in right direction.
Shampa Bishwas or anybody want to say something? Maharaji, you wanted to say something, I suppose? Udarandaji Maharajji?
No.
Okay.
I think that there are no more questions. We can close because the timer is on.
Okay, Shampa wants to say something, I suppose. Unmute yourself, Shampa Vishwas. Okay, with your permission, we close today's program. Thank you, Shantivratanandaji Maharaj once again for your such illuminating and profound talk. I end. Please give me 30 seconds. I end the formal part of the discussion. Then I'll come back and whatever 1 or 2 minutes you can use informally.